Well, Chuck, thank you so much for joining me and talking to me a little bit about baseball being back. There's a lot up in the air. Is there going to be a season? Is there not going to be a season? Are fans going to be in the stands? But we can all come to the positive that baseball is officially back in a time where our country really needs this game to be back in action. But how important do you think it is for teams and for fans that are watching on TV and for the game of baseball that MLB is being played?
Well, it would have been absolutely devastating to the sport itself if we weren't able to play. We've been on a roller coaster like just about everybody else in the country over the last several months and all the things that we've been through. And, we originally heard that we might play around the middle of May. Then we heard the end of May. We heard, okay, we'll make it by June. We heard July 4th. And finally here we've settled on July 24th. So I think it's great that just a little bit of the summer is going to at least have some baseball, because it would have really been tough to come back next year and not had a season this year.
And for you with the organization as the longtime PA announcer and everything that you're involved with the team, how has this affected you with fans not being in the arena?
Quite a bit, because I've always been a kind of a man of the fans, and I'm a baseball fan first and then work for the Rangers second. And I just hate it that fans can't come to the ball games now, because it's just not really baseball without the fans in the ballpark. But, as I've told everybody, this is kind of the hand that we've been dealt, and we've got to deal with it and make the best of the situation. And like you and I were talking earlier, maybe hopefully in the next month or so, maybe things will change and we'll be able to have fans in the ballpark. But, for a guy that's been around the game as long as I have, I really think it's tough and really hard for me to deal with that we can't have fans in the ballpark.
The stadium, that's the talk with the Rangers, the air conditioning, all the things that are new with the stadium. What are some things that you can tell fans that they can look forward to the day that they get to eventually go to the stadium?
Well, one of the first things I think fans will realize is that they're going to be about 30 to 40 feet closer to the action than they were at Globe Life Park. Amount of Ranger branding that's inside the ballpark. When people come in, they're going to know that they're in Texas, and they're going to know that they're at a Texas Rangers game. But the big thing is what we talked about before was this roof. It is so unbelievable to be outside and it'd be 100 degrees. And then we went through a lot of intra-squad games last week, and be able to come inside where it's climate controlled and it's 72 to 75 degrees to watch a game. And, again, I've watched fans for so many years have a tough experience on a day game in the middle of the summer here in Texas. So I'm happy now that they're going to be able to watch a game in a nice climate controlled atmosphere.
38 years. I read that you have never missed a home game. How have you managed? Is that true?
That is true. I'm at 2,972, so I'm on my way to 3,000 straight. So, and you're about to ask me, how have you been able to do that? I don't have to. They're not all in a row. I mean, the team's out of town for a while, and I think the good Lord blessed me with great health, and I've always taken care of myself. So, and I got a great work ethic that came from my parents. So. I just know it's important for me to be here and not miss a game. And somehow or other, we've made it close to 3,000 straight.
So another year of baseball, what are some new things that are going on with the team that fans would want to know about?
The first thing, the way the pandemic impacted us was in my promotions department. We've been having to deal with bobbleheads over in most of them are made in China. So that was the first thing that was difficult. We hopefully will be able to give away some promotion items a little bit later on. But, the team's going to be pretty good. We got great pitching staff. So I think there's some hope here. And hopefully maybe we'll have some postseason back in Arlington here in October.
And any predictions that you have for the season on certain teams that you think are going to be good?
Well, the team down to the south, they still have a pretty good ball club. They're going to be somebody that's going to be tough. I think Oakland's going to be real good. And, of course, the Angels have added some parts. So it's not going to be easy, but hopefully we can get off to a good start and hopefully be playing in October.
And you had to have seen the Mookie Betts deal. Crazy.
It seems like everybody's upset in Boston today. They're not real happy with the Red Sox management, but that's a great deal for Mookie. He'll be good for the Dodgers and good for baseball. Great player. But the folks in Boston are a little upset.